Sade! You're listening to Fix My Carcast, hosted by Bear Claw Billy. This is episode number 45. We got comedian and musician Keith Hebert, one cheek sneaking his way in. But first, housekeeping. This is the show where you pick what I say and how I say it. Pick a topic or prompt by donating to the GoFundMe, and vote on the gimmick by joining my Patreon for just $1 a month. Join at the $5 or higher level and also get bonus episodes and behind-the-scenes footage. Links are in the description. Also down there, merch. Get yourself some merch. Have you been thinking, where do I get my merch? Well, you can get merch for all kinds of things. Star Wars or Star Trek. But most important, Fix My Carcast. Go find the link. It's down there. Click it hard. No new donors this week. That's cool. The total raise for paying off my car repair debt is holding at $1,131. Thank you to everybody who's donated. Also, when we get to $2,000, we unlock an automatic show gimmick, which is I will watch all the Fast and Furious movies back to back and then record my podcast at the end. Fun fact, did you know that this whole podcast disappears when we hit $3,000? Try and get me to 1 million listeners so it really hurts when this thing gets dusted. No new patrons this week and it hurts so good. Okay. Now it's time for a topic suggestion. It's also time for some water. Some donors have told me they struggle to think of a topic for me to cover on the show. So each episode, I will give a topic suggestion. These are topics I think I could easily talk about for a whole episode, though admittedly, I think the show is more fun when it's something I'm completely clueless about. So, something I could talk about is my personal journey of gender identity. Yeah. They don't all have to be wacky. Let's get introspective. Note, there will probably still be a stupid gimmick on that episode. Checking in on the best city in the world based on which city listened to the last episode the most, and I have reason to believe that somebody is listening on as many devices as possible just to win this award every week. But I'm gonna count it. Now at an unbelievable 57% listenership. It is once again Biddeford, Maine. Congratulations, Biddeford, Maine. Let it be known that Biddeford has the nicest Hannaford for 7 days. Again, that's the Biddeford Hannaford. The Biddeford Hannaford. The Biddeford Hannaford. Last episode, I talked about what I would teach if I was a professor while standing in a public gazebo. If you want to see me in the gazebo, you can see that over on Patreon. If you're craving more gazebo talk, tough! But if you want a weird rant about Bo Burnham, I guess, check out a bonus episode also over on Patreon. Gazebo Burnham. It is the greatest title I've ever come up with. Okay, let's talk next week's gimmick a poll. These are your choices for next week's episode gimmick. They are: eat a hot bowl of soup, do it like a Dr. Seuss book, and currently tied at time of recording, number 3, wear clothespins on your face. And number 4, introduce a new permanent theme song. So whatever theme song I come up with in that episode, that will be the theme song forever. Be sure to vote over on Patreon. The poll closes Thursday, November 17th at noon Eastern America time. Just making sure I updated the date on that. And I did. November 17th. That's a Thursday. Remember. All right. Time for today's gimmick. In a unanimous vote, our big winner is Autotune the whole episode. The other options: wear a hat full of ice cubes, incorporate 10 lines from Disney musicals, and call people to be a guest on the show, all go back in the Billy Vault for 6 weeks. Of course, gimmicks don't start until housekeeping is out of the way, just in case any of them prevent me from sharing vital information. But now, we are entering the gimmick zone. From this point on, gimmicks are active and everything is improvised. Today's topic comes to us from our executive producer, Anonymous Farr. And they would like me to talk about farts. Welcome to the Autotune Farts episode. Yeah. I do have a few things to get out of the way right off the bat. Number one, if you want to call me out on a technicality, this is not true Autotune, as in the software that was developed for oil drilling, I think. This is not Autotune, the brand. I am using Neptune, made by Propellerhead. This is pitch adjuster and voice synth. So, if you want to be a stickler, this is not an auto-tuned episode, but it is a pitch adjusted voice synthesizer episode. I can hear what I sound like. I'm using a different mic. So that may explain why something sound a little different. And also I have water because I know that this is gonna throw my throat into disarray. Yeah. All right. Farts. I do want to point out this is the first time that someone has actually taken a topic suggestion. If you listen to last week's episode, I said something I could talk about in a future episode was farts. And thank you, Anonymous 4. Here I am talking about farts. So at first I was like, well, farts are pretty easy. But I went to the Wikipedia for farts, specifically flatulence, and I learned a lot. I learned quite a bit. I just gave it a little scrolly scroll, and so many factoids, so much I learned about farts. Before I get into the topic, one more technicality. I have planted 3 tracks of music, each one about 60 seconds, in the timeline. So if one starts, I will try to sing over it. I'm looking away from it because I don't want it like spoiled when the music starts. But so they're sprinkled in there. So I am just gonna open the Wikipedia for farts. I guess technically again, flatulence. And by the way, if you don't know this, most podcasts just read off Wikipedia. That's all it is. You follow the links, you read some of that stuff. It's easy. This isn't the first time that I've checked Wikipedia. But if you want a dictionary definition of flatulence, in humans, it's expulsion of gas out of the body's intestines via the anus, commonly referred to as farting. Shawty. Flatus is the medical word for gas generated in the stomach or bowels. A proportion of intestinal gas may be swallowed in environmental air, and hence flatus is not entirely generated in the stomach or bowels. The scientific study of this area of medicine is termed flatology. So yeah, my plan for this episode was just to talk about, like, some famous farts coming at ya. Oh yeah. There's a nutty professor. Parts 1 and 2, oh yeah, baby. You got the first and the clumps, and they're taking big dumps and making fart sounds. Don't forget about Lion King. You got Puma, the pig with farts. They remade that movie in live action, and they actually said farts. Also Blazing Saddles. Yeah. So, farts, let's talk about them. It's a thing that I would say most of us know what they are and have experienced personally. I'm going to bring my voice down. Hello. See what that does. It also sounds very strange. Again, I am hearing this in real time, and it sounds bizarre. It is very distracting to try to talk with this on, because the thing about Autotune, oh, excuse me, for all the irony points, I've been very gassy today. And despite the fact that I'm calling this the Autotune Farts episode, I will not be farting into the microphone. Let's have some class about gas of the ass, please and thank you. Yeah. It's very interesting to me, though. Like, as a comedy person, farts are easy humor, right? Like, just fart. I'll make a mouth fart. Do you want to hear an Auto-Tune mouth fart? Here I go. There was a car driving by, but I feel like Auto-Tune's not really doing much to it, though maybe I can't hear it as well. Doesn't sound like it's doing much. I was asked by Anonymous4, will we hear Auto-Tune farts in the episode? And not one's made live, one's made from my mouth, but also, if you listen to the Wacky Morning DJ episode, I had a fart on the soundboard, baby, you know it. And I've taken that fart sample and put it on the keyboard, so there you go. That's what it sounded like auto-tuned. And just for the record, I couldn't actually hear what that sounded like, because I don't have auto-tune hooked up to it, blah, 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 technical stuff, you don't care. But in the final mix, you can hear it auto-tuned. So you get a little treat that I don't. I feel like I'm doing the exact same vocal moves every time. It's always this, and then a little bit of this down here. I don't know why I'm doing that. Let me try to mix it up a little bit. Farts, farts, farts. We're talking about farts. It takes time to move on. I need flatulence to feel strong. Yeah, I will say, like, I've played with Autotune before in some of my own songs. It's definitely more fun when you're singing. When you're just talking, it kind of just sounds weird. I hear my own voice while I'm doing it, so it sounds mostly like me. I'm curious what it'll sound like in post. But I'm not talking about farts enough. Here's an illustration of a man suffering from wind. Trapped wind. One of the many ways to refer to this fart thing. Though I guess technically trapped wind is the absence of a fart, right? I don't know, bloating and pain, excessive volume, odor and incontinence, yeah, we got the flatus now. Cause. Okay, what causes farting? Intestinal gas. Am I literally burping during the farting episode? I love this show. You gotta love Fix My Car Cast. Whew. Exogenous gases are swallowed when eating or drinking, or increased swallowing during times of excessive salivation. Asthmatic occur when nauseated or as the result of gastroesophageal reflux disease. Whew. There is so much on this article. The mechanism of farts, management of farts. They keep coming back to how to treat it. When you got that odor, the odor created by flatulence is commonly treated with bismuth sulgalate, available over the counter in the U.S. as Devron. Bismuth subgalate is commonly used by individuals who have had ostomy surgery, bariatric surgery, fecal incontinence, and irritable bowel syndrome. Yeah. Yeah. Those are some fun surprises. All right, I hope you're all still having a blast with the farts episode. All right. So bismuth, one way to treat your farts. Activated charcoal, another way to treat your farts. I could barely hear the song on that last one, so I hope I did okay. Garments and external devices. Here's some fun fart facts. In 1998, a good year long, long ago, Chester Buck Wiener of Pueblo, Colorado, received a patent for the first undergarment that contained a replaceable charcoal filter. The undergarments are airtight and provide a pocketed escape hole in which a charcoal filter can be inserted. In the year 2001, Weimer received the Ig Nobel Prize for Biology for his invention. Now hold on a motherfucking minute. Ig Nobel, that's for stupid inventions. I feel like the anti-fart pants, that's not a bad invention. Here we go, society and culture. This page has more example needed or citation needed than anything else on the fart page. In many cultures, flatulence in public is regarded as embarrassing. Whew. I wish this was a bit, but genuinely, I've been burping a lot today. Welcome to the show. We got farts and games. We got everything you want and you know how they In other cultures, example needed, it may be no more embarrassing than coughing. I'm going to need an example there. In what cultures exactly? There's a picture here called Higassen, which is an art scroll depicting a battle of flatulence from Japan during the Edo period. I'm not much of an art scholar, but there is a cat who is trapped in what appears to be a 2 or maybe 3-way ass battle. Ass battle! God, there's so much random stuff on the society and culture section. A farting game named Touch Wood was documented by John Gregory Burke in the 1890s. It existed under the name of Safety in the 20th century in the US and has been found being played in 2011. There's a link for that. Has been found being played in 2011. Where did you find it? Did you just go, oh, a rousing game of safety? Greenhouse gases, cow farts, flatulist, Lepedomane, the fartomaniac, a famous French performer in the 19th century who, as well as many professional farters before him, did flatulence impressions and held shows. Now, flatulence impressions, I know they probably mean that he can do the sound of a fart and it sounds very convincing. You could just fart. I feel like that's one good way to do a fart impression. Or is it him doing impressions of celebrities farting? Is this hey, imagine if George Clooney went to a Mexican restaurant? I think it would sound a little something like this. Well, I'm very sorry to interrupt your dinner, but Autotuned, I bet that probably hid how bad my Clooney impression was. I've never attempted one, actually, so there, you heard it here first. My first Clooney was auto-tuned. I'm trying to think of just one George Clooney line that I can do auto-tuned, but... Ocean's 11, it's time to fuck. Ocean's 12, it's time to fuck. Ocean's 13, it's gonna be unlucky, but I got to find Batman and Robin. confident because he was in that. George Clooney had nipples on the batsuit, oh yeah. Ugh, what is it like to fart in a batsuit? I don't wanna know, don't fart in the batsuit. How come Batman is always a topic on Fixed by Carcast? What the hell? I made this one way too long, but that's okay. Don't fart in the batsuit. You're gonna trap it. Trap that Batwind, trap it. Get out of the suit. Release all the gas. Repel the sharks with your bat spray. I think we can all agree that putting in random bits of music was the best part of this episode. There might be a few more of those coming down the pipeline. I don't want to spoil it for you. But, okay. Again, there's a part of me that's afraid that racism, a terrible thing. I don't know if you've heard of racism, but it's very bad. I'm just so worried to say any of the cultural traditions around farting because they all say more source material needed. So I just want to preface, this is according to the Wikipedia page on flatulence. In Islam, flatulence, if audible or odorous, invalidates wudu, ritual purity, and it says right here, better source needed. So I don't know if that's true. I can click the source. Voodoo and passing wind. I'll click through. This webpage is not available. Well, that's why we need a better source, I guess. Okay, now I've clicked off of the page entirely. Where am I going? How will I get back to flatulence? The noise commonly associated with flatulence, blowing a raspberry, is produced by the anus and buttocks, which act together in a manner similar of that of an embouchure. I don't know what an embouchure is. Time to find out. Embouchure, or lipping, is the use of the lips, facial muscles, tongue, and teeth in playing a wind instrument. Well, the anus is certainly a wind instrument. Am I right, folks? That's the thing, is like fart humor is easy, and there was an entire page on fart humor. I believe I saw that down at the bottom. Let me look for the fart humor. By the way, I'm auto-tuned to C minor. If you're watching the video version, which you can only see if you're a patron, you can see the bar moving around based on the noises that I make. Pain and bloating, volume, odor, incontinence, environmental impact, flatulence, fart lighting. Lighting. Okay, fart lighting, I know what that is. That's when you set your fart on fire. Armpit fart is at the bottom. I can't do that. Of all the stupid sideshow, dumb trick bullshit that I know, I don't know how to do the armpit fart. I've tried. I've never gotten very good at it. I'm clicking on flatulence humor. Flatulence humor, or rude humor, more commonly known as fart humor, refers to any type of joke, practical joke device, or other off-color humor related to flatulence. Although it is likely that flatulence humor has long been considered funny in cultures that consider the public passing of gas impolite, such jokes are rarely recorded. I'd heard about this. It's been suggested that one of the oldest recorded jokes was a flatulence joke from the Sumerians that had been dated to 1900 BC. Two important early texts are the 5th century BC plays The Knights and The Clouds, both by Aristophanes, which contain numerous fart jokes. Another example from classical times appeared in Apocalypsintosis, or the Pumpkinification of Claudius, a satire attributed to Seneca on the late Roman emperor. Quote, "At once he bubbled up the ghost, and there was an end to that shadow of a life. The last words he was heard to speak in this world were these, when he had made a great noise with that end of him which talked easiest. He cried out, 'Oh dear, I think I have made a mess of myself.'" Good joke. Everybody laugh. But doctor, I am lepetamine. Whoa, whoops, I just bumped my camera. Now you can see all the cocaine I've been processing today. I'll tell you what, working at a talent agency doesn't always pay the bills. One day my boss, Asher, will realize I'm the most talented person in that whole place. But I can't do an armpit fart, so maybe not. If I could learn that, I'd be going places, folks. Okay, there are links at the bottom of the fart page in my hand. And some of them I don't know what they are. Like, what are tympanites? Anyone right now who knows what a tympanite is might be like, do not click that. But I'm gonna. Tympanites, also known as meteorism, is a medical condition in which excess gas accumulates in the gastrointestinal tract and causes abdominal distension. Oh, there's pictures. You don't want to see them unless you do. Going back a step. Colloquially, flatulence may be referred to as farting, pumping. I am so sorry. I tell ya, the irony. Some of these episodes just... This is the burpiest I've ever been. I don't know why. I had a soda yesterday, but it's never been this bad. Let me go back. Colloquially, flatulence may be referred to as farting, pumping, trumping, blowing off, pooting, passing gas, breaking wind, and backfiring. Or simply, in American English, gas. Or British English, wind. Derived terms include vaginal flatulence, also known as a queef. Friends, I don't know if I have much more to say about farts. But thank you for coming to the Autotuned episode, the Autotuned Farts episode. And, well, I don't really know how to end this one, so, as always, hello, it is me, Dracula. Can I talk about Phil Collins? Dracula. Please, I'm trying to end the show here. I just got to the as always. What do you have to say? It's always important to be silent but deadly. Okay, we can go out on that. Can I talk about In the Air Tonight? Get out of here. As always. Yeah, be silent but deadly.